Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast to discuss more is Major Mohammed Ali Shah, defense expert. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on NewsX. We're of course getting to know that some other talks are slated to take place between India and China. This of course follows the 19th Corps Commander level talks which had taken place on August 14th. Do you think there's a possibility that some breakthrough might occur?
I'll be very, very honest with you, and though I'm an optimist, I always think positively. I hope for the best, and I really wish something positive would occur. But knowing China and understanding them, 90 I've witnessed from a from a distance, 19 talks, last being on the 14th of August, which we rightly mentioned. I do not think that China is going to actually budge, but yes, it can be a strategy of buying time. It can be a strategy of where we engage in a conversation. The dialogues are open, the channels are open, of communication are open. But at the end of the day, I am being very, very honest. I do not expect much because imagine Corps Commander level talk, that's Lieutenant General. Now the very fact is they are mutually ensured that no posts are constructed in close proximity to the line of actual control in Eastern Ladakh. And identifying specific limits of patrolling were some of the issues that were discussed in the Major General level talks, which was held on Friday. In fact, we just mentioned that. This was between, of course, now Daulat Beg Goldi, Chushul. Now these were the areas mainly which were discussed. Now, if you talk about the hotbeds and if you talk about the other places as well, it is the China will never agree, and even if they do agree, it will be a big hogwash. They will try to show the world that they are agreeing, they are taking one step behind. There's no doubt about it. Everybody will say, wow, China's cooperating. But then slowly and gradually, slyly, when no one is looking, they are too clever. They will take 2 steps ahead, slyly. So that is something which we have to be very, very wary of China. In fact, it was resolving objectives to each other's activities on ground through local commanders' talks, building confidence in each other and working towards resolving the legacy issue of Spang planes and dum choke. Those were among other rules that were of patrolling that were discussed over here in this talk. Now the very fact is, how many ever talks, how much ever you engage with China, it is actually pointless. They only understand one language. They want to win wars without fighting, without firing a single bullet. That they will indulge in their propaganda, their information warfare, cyber warfare, psychological warfare, all kinds of warfare possible without firing a single bullet. Now, it was also that the 2 separate locations it was held on two like earlier there were talks in Chinese side, then there were talks in Indian side. The entire 3,488 kilometer stretch, which is a perception, there is no fencing over there. And because it cannot be manned physically, the terrain is very, very difficult, very, very tough. So that is the advantage that China takes. They use that to their advantage. They are the crooks of the highest order. I hope and I wish something really comes out from the talks with them. But let me tell you, China and Pakistan are 2 nations which will never, they're incorrigible. In Urdu, if I have to say, Nasur is a term for them. They are totally incorrigible. They are Nasur. Nothing can be done about them. But yes, we can keep the dialogue open. We can keep the channels of communication open completely.
Indeed, all eyes on certain confidence-building measures, that India is attempting to work on with China. Meanwhile, sir, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast and presenting your perspectives.